movie fans, and welcome to the new setup. New studio, new look, a little bit different from what you got in the past, but still great content that I'm going to deliver to you. So with the whole new setup, I really wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what videos you would like to see. And the top comment, and I've got this one before, so I figured I should probably do it this time, is the top 5 Disney Channel original movies. Now, I'm going to go with more of the older ones, like pre-2005, pre-High School Musical days when it turned all teeny bopper on us. Ugh. So, at number 5, we have Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. This actually turned out to be a pretty good trilogy overall. The sequels didn't match the level of the first one, but it was still, they were all really good and entertaining movies. What it basically is Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. She lives on this space station up in space, and her crazy adventures basically trying to get this band to come to the space station. And it's a lot of fun. I don't really know what happened to that actress after that. We never really saw. That's the case of a lot of Disney Channel stars. They either go on to fame, rehab, or obscurity. You never see Disney Channel stars after their movies, or you see them in headlines for less than stellar things. But Xenon was actually a really entertaining movie. You got that really catchy, borderline annoying song with Zoom 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 that will get stuck in your head, and it's probably stuck in your head now. You're welcome for that. It's just a lot of fun. That's what a lot of these movies were back then. Just a lot of fun, but not so much kiddie. Just watch with the whole family. That's a lot of what I liked about old Disney, was watch with the whole family, not just for the children. At number 4, we have Halloweentown. Now, Halloweentown is also a lot like Xenon in that the sequels are actually pretty good. In fact, if I do another one of these top 5s, I wouldn't be surprised if Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge, is actually on that list, because that one's also incredibly good. But Halloweentown follows Marnie, which, what kind of name is Marnie? Marnie. That's beside the point. It follows Marnie and the woman from Singing in the Rain, Debbie Reynolds, which I know she's been in other stuff, but I will always forever associate her with Halloweentown. Now, Debbie Reynolds is a witch in Halloweentown, and Marnie follows her to Halloweentown and discovers that she herself is a witch as well. And it's basically Halloween 365 days a year, as opposed to just the whole month of October, if we're being perfectly honest here. But it's a lot of fun, and it just was lighthearted magic. It was kind of Harry Potter before Harry Potter, really. Well, Harry Potter before Harry Potter really took off. But it was a lot of fun and kind of dark at times, but not too dark. It had that right amount of darkness. Back when Disney Channel had all these different movies, they got dark at times, but not so dark that it would terrify kids to a certain level. It wasn't as creepy as some other kids' movies that we could name. But it was still a lot of fun, and Calabar was a pretty decent villain for a Disney Channel movie. At number 3, we have one of many Ryan Merriman movies for Disney Channel, Luck of the Irish. Luck of the Irish is basically the default, it's St. Patrick's Day, let's watch a movie, because frankly I do not want to watch the Leprechaun movies because they are terrible. And there's really nothing else. Luck of the Irish was, for me, the movie that you watch on St. Patrick's Day, because it's Luck of the Irish. It's St. Patty's Day movie in and of itself. And I will always laugh because I'm a huge fan of Psych. And on that show there's Detective Lassiter, who is the angry leprechaun antagonist in this movie. And I can never unsee that of, you're the leprechaun from Luck of the Irish. So when they eventually made a leprechaun joke on Psych, I was pretty content with that. I was pretty happy. But Luck of the Irish starred Ryan Merriman, who did several Disney movies like this and Smart House, as this guy who discovers that he's of Irish descent, and I think he's turning into a leprechaun, as the movie progresses. And basically he's trying to learn about his heritage while trying to undo whatever's happening to him, and he has to compete in these games against Timothy Amundsen, who is the evil leprechaun river dance kind of guy. It sounds really weird if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know how good and entertaining it is. And whatever happened to Ryan Merriman? Where is Ryan Merriman? Was he ever in anything ever again? Let me know in the comments if he has ever been in something, or if he's your next door neighbor, or you saw him working at Del Taco or something like that. But whatever. Ryan Merriman, thanks for making a fun movie while you were still relevant. At number 2, we have a TV series and a movie that really kind of got forgotten about by a lot of people, but still holds a very, very fond place in my heart. Jett Jackson, the movie. Whenever I talk to any of my friends around my age, none of them seem to remember Jett Jackson. That was such a good show. And this was a fantastic action-packed movie. Probably one of the most action-packed Disney Channel original movies they ever made. But no one ever talked about it for some reason. I actually had this taped on VHS. I had something going on that night, I think. And we taped it on VHS, because that's what you did back then. You didn't have that on demand. Now I sound like an old guy. We didn't have that on demand back then. We taped it. I can still remember that little static line or whatever that would play whenever you'd see the scene over and over. The premise was essentially this kid was pulling double duty as a television action star, famous Jett Jackson. And so the plot of the movie was, what if those two worlds were swapped? Like the everyday regular guy went into the world of the action hero and was completely taken aback by that. Like, this is reality. And the action star came into the real world. It was a really fun, action-packed adventure that was very different from a lot of other programs that Disney Channel had at the time. And maybe that's why it's not as remembered, because it was different than a lot of other stuff that was going on. But for me, it was still one of Disney Channel's best TV series, and it was one of its best movies. It was a little dark, but a lot of fun action, but nothing too intense for kids. It's one of Disney Channel's best original movies, but it's incredibly hard to find, as are the rest of these movies. So if any of you know where to find them, also comment that below. There are so many great Disney Channel original movies, but what is the best one of all time, in my opinion? It's the one that always consistently makes me laugh and has the best ensemble cast of characters. Even Stevens the movie. Remember way back in the day when Shia LaBeouf was insane and not crazy or a cannibal? If you haven't seen that video, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. That is hysterical. And possibly a little bit true. I wouldn't be surprised knowing Shia LaBeouf. But remember when he was sane and could make you laugh? You had Even Stevens, and then you followed that with Holes. I think Even Stevens, the movie, was like the best thing that ever came out of Even Stevens. You had Lewis, Ren, and of course, one of my favorite, Beans. Oh, Beans. Beans was that weird kid that every neighborhood had, but you kind of kept him around, although he liked bacon more than everybody else did at the time. At the time, bacon is... Never underestimate a man's love of bacon, but you can't love it more than beans. Man packs a suitcase of nothing but bacon. That's sheer dedication right there. The movie was essentially the Stevens family is on this reality TV show, but they are unaware of it. And so they basically descend into anarchy as a squirrel hunt. They try and make a feast out of a peanut. Beans wants to go skinny dipping. Yeah, Beans is sounding less and less awesome as I get older. But it's a lot of hilarity and just absolute nonsense, but having a good, like, family unity. I used to watch that with my mom and dad all the time, and we always just laughed, and it was just utter ridiculousness. I don't know where, like, half the cast of that movie or even show ended up, but at the time, they were one of the best TV families that I enjoyed watching, and this movie was just, like, the perfection of Even Stevens, the TV show, and it ended up being a hilarious movie that if I could still find it, I would still watch to this day and probably still get a big kick out of. Well, what about you? What are your favorite Disney Channel original movies of all time? Just let me know, and I'll probably end up doing another top 5 of best Disney Channel original movies. And also, if you'd like what you're seeing and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 17 Movie Reviews. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals.